This is the Recovery Lab.
Here we dive deep into the struggles, victories, and hope that stem from recovery.
No shame, no judgment, just truth, grace, and inspiration.
Let's walk this road together.
All right, welcome back to Recovery Labs, episode 122. I'm David Sugg.
I'm Brynn Knox.
He's back on the controllers. Thanks for your work back there, Daniel. And I'm here this week with Kim and Richard Johnson. They're here to talk about Fentanyl Awareness Walk that's happening this weekend in honor of their daughter, Katie, who passed from a fentanyl overdose. We're really, really honored to have y'all come in and talk to us. You know, we're here to talk to people about recovery and awareness about what addiction can do. And we couldn't do this if it wasn't for y'all and y'all's willingness. Thank you so much for willing to come out here and do it in a public forum, because it's tough to talk about in private. To do it with strangers in public, like that's a big commitment. So thank y'all for coming in here and even taking the time and taking the effort to do this. We really, really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit before about kind of what brought y'all in today and a little bit about Katie's story. Just start off right now, the walk that's coming up this weekend is a national affair that y'all brought to the Mississippi area because there wasn't one. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And what kind of instigated that?
Well, I saw the advertisement on United Against Fentanyl's website. I had friended them, and I thought, well, I looked at the map all across the United States, and Mississippi wasn't on it, and it just kind of broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to, I just felt led to do something. We've been talking since Katie passed that we needed to use our voice to help others, and hopes to maybe save lives, and so that other parents don't go through what we went through.
Yeah.
Let me add that you know, as you went into the introduction that you said that she died of a fentanyl overdose. Mm-hmm. That's another reason we're here, is because you know there's people, parents walking around that think this is a you know, kids that are going out and intentionally that they're overdosing with it. This is a poisoning. Right. She was deceptively sold something, and she was poisoned, and we buried our daughter because of a poisoning. Not an overdose. So I mean, I want to make that clarification.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a good point, because she wasn't going out there looking for something like this to happen. She trusted someone that gave her something, and we're here today.
Tell me a little bit about that story, because I don't really know the story.
The story. Katie's story?
Yeah, how did that happen? Because I really don't know a lot about the accidental, the poisoning part. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, the I guess a few details leading into it is you know, I mean, Katie had always been a straight A student in school. COVID came in, and she was at Mississippi State, majoring in engineering as a prereq to becoming a doctor. Well, when COVID
Can you repeat that real quick for people to hear that this happens to kids, not the troubled kids?
She graduated with honors with a 3.83 from Jackson Academy here in Jackson, and had a full scholarship to Mississippi State. Wow. Majoring in engineering as a pre-med major. She took a tough route to get to med school, and she but when COVID set in, the in-person classes ended, and when she had to do the online courses, her ADHD did not interact well with the lack of interaction and the lack of structure in those classes, and she got anxious. She anxiety grew, and you know, and to be honest, she went in the wrong direction, looking to solve her anxiety, and we've come to learn she started smoking marijuana as a coping mechanism for the anxiety, and didn't help, just made things worse. And later on, we come to find that she was an athlete in high school and junior high, and she was injured, 12 or 13 years old. Her femur broke at the growth plate, and it required surgery, and she was given pain pills when she was 13 or 14 years old. Well, during the recovery process, for what we thought was the recovery process, she made mention of how good those pain pills made her feel, and then she went to the street to buy Percocet. I think it was Percocet. She was looking for that painkiller, that same feeling that she had from 7 or 8 years prior. Well, she didn't know. We didn't know just how dangerous, that was. So it led us to being where we are here today, unfortunately, because we didn't know how dangerous it was and how urgent and critical the issue was, and so we didn't respond to the urgency of the matter like we should have.
Well,
What were some things going on looking back that you said, because I'm sure you do this every day, of what I could have done there, what I could have done there. Do you ever do that? And is there anything that points out, like, is more glaring now in retrospect?
Yes. Excuse me. I'm sorry. When we realized that she had an addiction to the painkillers.
How did you realize that?
Well, she came to us and told us that they had gone to, her and her boyfriend were in this together. He had a history of drug abuse, and they went to a Suboxone clinic and found out that what they were taking wasn't actually Percocet. It was counterfeit Percocet that was laced with fentanyl. And so after they found that out, they were having trouble stopping the drug. She came to us. I had realized there were a lot of expenditures, like cash withdrawals out of her account. And so I immediately just had that just gut feeling something's not right. So I called her up and asked her to come home. She was working one day, and she came home. And I asked her about it, what's going on with your account? And we had a joint account so that I could add money for school purposes, rent, that sort of thing. So I had access to her account. But she told me the story about the Percocet, and that they had gone to the Suboxone clinic to find out what to do to get off of it. And at that time, she said they were taking Suboxone, and they were trying to stop using the Percocet that's on the street. And so at that point, we said, well, I think this was right before school started. I think we had a month to sublease her apartment, but we all decided that it was best for her to move home and not continue school for that semester and try and get a handle on this. And so that's what she did. She subleased her apartment, packed it up, came home, and was living at home. And at that point, we were thinking, well, Katie's just, she'll be okay. She can probably, beat this. And we were wrong. And
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And she did. She did stop taking it for a while, and she was going to a drug not rehabilitation, but a therapist that was trying to help her get through that. And while living at our house, and so she was doing really well at the time. The boyfriend was gone; he was at rehab, and we thought, well, okay, she's doing great. We're just kind of keeping an eye on it. And she was very honest and open with us. She's never really lied to us. She was very forthcoming about the addiction. And she said, yeah, I think I can do this. So we decided not to do inpatient, and I do regret that we didn't do inpatient.
We just didn't understand the severity of the
Right.
addiction. We did
We
not
didn't know
understand.
what fentanyl was. I had to actually Google it. We were very naive and didn't know that it was on the street, and then there were counterfeit drugs so available to these young kids and young adults, I should say. But so yeah, we didn't understand fully the urgency of the moment that if she did relapse, what could happen. It really didn't. We didn't understand that at the time, and I wish we would have. But there wasn't a lot of talk about it. It wasn't being.
It's been
just-
kept in the shadows
right.
for sure.
It
There's
was
the news relating to all the many deaths that are
Right.
resulting, and it's
it was not being shared to the public how dangerous this was and how many people had already died from it prior to her death. So this pandemic, it started back in, I think, 2014, maybe, where fentanyl was coming into our country. It didn't really get bad, I think, until like 2020, something like that. But I wish I could go back. And yeah, I definitely would have. Yeah, immediately drove her to rehab because
there are no
the outcome
do-overs
could have
here.
been different, possibly.
I know you did the best you could with what you knew. You brought her home, subleased her apartment. You did absolutely the best you could. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry that you guys had to go through this. We were talking before we started recording and made the connection about you guys living across the street from me. That was when right after my dad had passed. And I still remember that day, like, very clearly.
Us too.
I remember all the EMS and all that kind of stuff across the street, and just my heart sank. And seeing you afterwards, and it's like you just feel like you just were working on breathing, And so I'm so proud of you for making it, and not only making it, but now speaking out. You said earlier about using your voices, and I can only imagine how difficult that is when it's hard to make your voice literally talk without cracking. You know what I mean? It's like, how do I use my voice when my voice is so literally unsteady, but you're doing it. What are some things you want people to remember about Katie?
If anything, one of the messages we have coming out of this is that the neighborhood we lived in, as you're aware, I mean, it had gates at the street. When we lived behind the gates, per se,
Yeah.
we were protected. We were shielded. This is not supposed to happen to us, to our family, and we want to communicate to all the parents, all the grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends. No one's shielded from this, and we just be aware and respond and with urgency when if you're aware of anyone that that's at exposure, just be aware and respond, quickly.
I think it's easy. Like when we were talking earlier about, because we mentioned, the streets, got this from the streets. And so I think immediately a lot of parents will think like, okay, well, my kid's not on the streets. You know what I mean? Like, where are these streets? But like, these streets are like in your neighborhood.
Well,
like that's the street that we're talking about.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, we've learned a lot of unfortunate facts through this but that's one of them. We lived in Rankin County, and talking with the Flowood police that were investigating this case. I mean, this is a manslaughter or murder investigation that's going on here because there was a poisoning involved. Well, we came to learn that the kids in Rankin County aren't protected from the streets of a neighboring city. It's where crime is more predominant. It's there's the Flowood police detectives explained to me that there's Rankin County tags driving into Jackson and right back up Lakeland Drive every single day. So it's there's no there's no deterrent. Anybody that's got a car can get to the streets where this stuff is, and it's available, and it's that's what we've come to learn.
I don't know what. Have you talked to some parents that have been through the same thing, and have you been able to kind of form a network around? I hate to say around the loss, but I mean, y'all obviously have an experience that's worth sharing and needs to be shared. Have y'all met some others on this journey?
Well, we attended the family summit that was put on by the DEA last Thursday.
Okay.
And so we did get a chance to meet some other parents that have suffered the same loss.
What are some of the tools and some of the things that they're doing to try to get through this? Or y'all?
Well, we didn't really speak on that.
Yeah.
I was on the panel with them, and they basically just shared their story of how their child passed and what happened to them leading up to that day. So we haven't really gotten a chance to get to know them that well.
Did you see any themes that kind of cross-pollinated, were the same thing over and over again?
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell me about those.
There was of the grieving mothers that were standing up there. There were so-called friends that were in the room with their children as they died, and they did nothing. That was the common story, and I just get chill bumps when I hear that. They just I don't know. I mean, I came up, I don't know. I mean, it was this is not the guy drinking 12 beers over here and passing out in the corner. These guys are. I mean, this is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
But every one of the stories is you had people that could have done something that didn't do anything.
That just makes it sting so much more. I mean, it's already a tragedy, but that just makes it really.
Yeah.
Wow.
But to go back to the other the network of I mean. We've not seen that network really, but as part of this walk, it's actually something we're going to do at the walk. We're going to have a sign up list. We've reached out through things like this. We're reaching out to people that we don't necessarily know that have been in the same situation, and we're going to start trying to create a network of people that are in the same shape to where it's not. It's not us putting this together next year. It's us and 3 or 4 other families that are in the same situation, that just to give it more impact and more significance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're looking for people who have also lost someone in their lives, or people that know someone in active addiction,
Well,
or all the above?
Well, mainly we'd like to connect with the parents that have lost children because we have that in common. And just grief is such a lonely process, and up to this point, it has been. I mean, both of us have seen a therapist, for our grief process. We went to a grief share class.
How important was all of that?
It's helped. The therapist helped us realize what drugs actually do to the brain and how it changes the person. And so the person that is in active addiction is not actually the person that you raised, or they're not actually making sound decisions that you think they're capable of, because their brain has changed because of the drug. So that helped. That helped a lot. And just, crying your heart out to someone that'll listen. That itself, just being able to talk about it, there's power in talking about it and getting it out of your head. I think when you isolate yourself and you sit in your house and you just let that play over and over and over in your brain, it's just not healthy.
Yeah.
So getting help or having a friend, and I did have a dear friend that walked with me once a week at the nature trail, the Flowood Nature Trail. So, and that helped a lot too. Yeah.
I add that just the grief, the grief therapy and the events we went to, it's different. It's different when it's a child.
Yeah.
You know, I've dealt with the brother, I've dealt with the father, I've dealt with the grandparent. But boy, this is a whole nother level of pain. You don't shake this one off. So, I mean, getting parents together, you know, to help each other, I think there's a great importance to that.
Right.
If Katie could talk to us now, is there anything that she might want to share about her story to others? Is there something that you ever thought she might want to tell us?
That one surprised me. Let me think about that a second. I think Katie.
Well, I noticed when y'all were leading up to the story, it's not very common, but she seemed to be very open with y'all. You know, she was talking to you about going to the clinic. She was talking to you about some of the trouble she had had. She offered to come home.
Yeah.
I mean, I know me, my two rules were don't run out and don't get caught. I didn't talk to anybody about anything. And so she had communication open with y'all then.
That actually helps me guide me down. Yeah, I think she would say that you know, I mean, Katie was an extremely intelligent young lady, very high achieving. She thought she had this.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't understand the depths of the addictive nature of the fentanyl of the opioid nature drug that she was taking. So she thought she had it.
Mm-hmm.
If she had advice to give, it would be this is bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, reach out. You know, get additional help as soon as possible. Don't let you know you can beat this, but don't assume you got it on your own. I think that's what she would say.
Because was she in pre-med? She had
Well, she was in engineering
engineering, okay.
with hopes to getting into medical school.
Yeah.
So she hadn't graduated yet.
Yeah, engineering curriculum is a tough way to do pre-med, but that's the way she was going.
Yeah.
But she was super active and had a servant's heart. And I mean, you got a picture of her right here with the beautiful dog. You want to hold up for everybody watching on video? Very, very cute picture there.
Yeah.
Look how cute she is.
Man.
She had a big heart.
Yeah.
And she loved to perform and she loved to sing. She did that a lot when she was a little girl.
Yeah.
She just ran around the house dressing up all the time. And she always had a song in her heart that she wanted to sing and share with everybody. And she was involved in Encore at JA and loved it and did theater also. Had a few main parts in a few of the plays at JA. So she was just a loving child and just always smiled. You know, she was just really confident in herself.
Yeah.
Always made the best of every situation. Yeah. I mean, I used to, if the sun didn't come up one day, I just told everybody she'd grab a flashlight and act like nothing happened. I mean, she was just that was her mentality. She just made the best of every situation.
Yeah. I think so often we think about the drug story of being, you know, bad kid, bad neighborhood, tough stuff growing up. And here's just like the all-American dream, really. I mean, great childhood, a lot of good, healthy hobbies, excelled in school, went to state, just doing all the good stuff. And, you know, drugs just, they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't observe boundaries. They don't observe state lines. They do whatever they want to do.
That's a big part of our message. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so in doing this and getting this set up, you've got to work with some different organizations. I think Magnolia is close friends of ours, Wellness and Recovery. How's that been working with them and working with some other organizations?
I just can't. I've got a corporate executive job, so I work around a different environment of people. I mean, we're private equity owned, and our private equity partners in New York are, how much money are you going to make? When are you going to collect it? When just it's that's kind of the mentality that I've grown to live in. the recovery community, Magnolia, those people, in particular, I mean, Chris, Jody Jody hopped in. Well, first, let me back up. When we started talking about a walk, I called several people that I knew in the recovery community, and Jody Penton's name came up. Jody's done this. Talk to Jody. Talk to Jody. We called Jody, and Jody hops on board like this was like this was his mission. And he helped us. He made phone calls. He called speakers. He got people. He just helped us so much get this thing off and going. The recovery community, I've just fallen in love with the recovery community in Jackson metro area. It's just an incredible group of people. We went to the Recovery Fest in Brandon this past weekend and handed out flyers.
Yeah.
We went up to one table. The flyer was already on the table when we got there.
Yeah.
We went to another table. The lady came up and she says, "Oh, I'm going. I'm already signed up." It was inspiring. But every table we went to says, "We take it. Yes, we're going to add it to our social media. We're going to, we're going to do everything we can to help get the word out." It's an amazing, my interaction has been amazing with the recovery community in Jackson.
Have y'all participated at all in the opioid settlement money is about to hit in the Mississippi area? Lynn Finch is starting to delegate, that out through the legislation. Have y'all been following that or been on any panels for that with your story, with your experience? No. Well, the money is about to hit. I think the state of Mississippi's probably got about $90 million they're about to dish out to small organizations, large organizations to try to mitigate the effects of the fentanyl and the opioid crisis. Knowing that, I know you weren't aware of, but how would you like to see some of those resources spent to eliminate some of these stories from happening again?
Good question.
Yeah. Gosh, I would love to see billboards everywhere with slogans to scare these kids. Maybe on the side of semi trucks that are traveling across the United States, ads, something.
Yeah.
It's not being covered enough. There's still a lot of people that don't know what it is. And that's the sad part. There's unsuspecting young adults, teenagers out there that just think, don't know it at all. They don't know the dangers, and the parents either.
Yeah.
That's a complex question. I mean,
But I think it should go to rehab too. Definitely sober living and helping these people. To get the help they need for sure. Yeah.
It would be nice if there was some sort of scholarship fund for people to be able to go to inpatient treatment without trying to figure out how they're going to get all that money to do so,
Yeah. That's an interesting, absolutely. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I definitely agree with that.
To me, it just seems like there's resources, treatment, sober living homes. They ought to be supported, and they've been around for a long time. I feel like what's not around right now is the awareness, is people just talking about it and being comfortable talking about it. Because what y'all's story is, the poisoning. Like one of my favorite artists, Justin Townes Van Zandt. He was a musician out of Memphis, and he had an alcohol and a drug problem, but he never used opioids. He just wasn't into that kind of thing. He got a batch of some pills that had fentanyl in him, and he died, and there's a lady that goes to one of my home groups, anecdotally, I won't say her name, but she was taking some pills and she overdosed at a Thanksgiving dinner and nobody knew what was going on. She didn't know what was going on, but she had fentanyl, and the police came and they Narcaned her and they brought her back, but they had no idea.
That's a common story.
Right.
That's a common story. It's such a deceptive manner in which it's being peddled out, and yeah, to that point, it's the awareness is not about so much about. I mean, it's not just fentanyl awareness. It's the awareness of that. Deceptive.
Right.
Yeah.
These kids are. I say kids. I mean, it's not just kids. It's everyone. But it's just so many different ways. I mean, the different articles that we've read. It's like, I mean, I had a Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics agent told me nobody goes out to buy fentanyl,
Right.
and I guess very few would, but most people get introduced to it deceptively. And so, I mean, and that leads to, I mean, that guy, a lot of times that You've got to crush the person that's stirring it into the mix. So I mean, hopefully, I mean, the law enforcement, the money goes toward law enforcement in a way to, I mean, the source has to be dealt with.
Yeah.
In a very serious way. I mean, like this is not dealing drugs. This is killing people. This is terrorism. I mean, you can't really look at it any different way. And I think that's
not true. Are we prosecuting these people that are killing other people?
So some are getting prosecuted. It was encouraging to hear some of the cases at the fentanyl, the Family Fentanyl Summit put on by the DEA recently. There were some cases that had been prosecuted. And Katie's case is, what is today? This is September 12th was 3 years. And the case is still pending. It's still not been accepted by the Attorney General. It's that they converted the case over to federal courts, but it's still not been accepted.
What is it? How do you make something accepted? Can we not just go through her call log or text messages and figure out who this person is?
Well, it's that we know who it is.
Okay.
And they know who it is. But locking the evidence down, the laws have been improved over the last several years. They still can stand more improvement. Do it. I mean, well, yeah, we've got a friend that lives here in Madison, Cordy Rodenbaugh, that got the state laws enforced with Parker's Law that allows people that intend. I don't even think the dealer to get prosecuted for manslaughter or murder for dealing or anybody. It's elevated charges, but it took 7 or 8 years to get that put in place in the state of Mississippi. That is in place in the state law. In the federal system, at the federal level, it's a whole nother level. Gosh, you're going to get me talking law, and I'm going to misspeak here, but they converted ours over to the federal law because, well, I mean, I've kept it out from under the bus long enough. There was concern that Hinds County wouldn't prosecute, so they took it to the federal courts, hoping for a better prosecution, and it's all the evidence is there. They're just dotting I's, crossing T's. It's still not crossed the threshold of the Attorney General, the federal Attorney General, accepting it to take it to court.
Okay.
That's kind of where it's at.
And they are using her cell phone. They do have dialogue between her and the dealer, and they are using that. Yes.
They have a track of where she bought it, when she bought it. Yeah. But they have a track of where she went, where she was. Can they prove that? I think there's a connection. Can they prove that that's the pill that
Yeah.
They killed her. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything that anyone, just regular people, can do to help get her particular case accepted by the AG? Like, can we send emails? Is there anything we can do? Even if it's just annoy them? I could be so annoying.
Possibly.
That's an approach we took, and I tried to call people a year ago when it got handed over to the federal from the Flowood detectives. When it got handed over, I called everybody I knew that might know somebody that to contact the Attorney General. I want them to know. I want them to know there's grieving parents behind this case. This is. I'm not saying Katie's case is more important than any other case. I'm not saying that at all, because a life is a life. I'm saying they're all important, and that's. I lost myself. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're going to fight for the one that's very important to you.
But it's So yeah. I mean, any awareness that they get. I mean, the case is still pending there, and when the case does hit there, I mean, I would love for them to know that there's people supporting this case. I mean, the dealer was, he was a bad guy. I
Yeah.
He's this is not his first rodeo, and a matter of fact, that as they were trying to put the case together on him, I mean, the trouble they had was finding places to get the undercover buys with him. They had a hard time finding him when he wasn't in jail for something else. So this is the bad guy she was buying from, and it's
Yeah. There's so many people that I've heard just over the years that have been introduced to fentanyl because they're apparently they're putting it in this stuff because it's very, very addictive, and it's stronger than anything we've ever seen before. We're seeing it more and more and more, and there's going to be more of these stories that are popping off. But for somebody who is just the early stages of using alcohol and drugs that may be going towards something like this, are y'all reaching out to some of those preemptive kind of thinking about doing any work in that arena to kind of just, obviously people who are using fentanyl or using hard drugs are going to be introduced to stuff, but what about people who are just B-class partiers? Or are you trying to get the message out to just regular average everybody?
Well, I think this walk is what we're trying to do is to kind of illuminate that and help people that are unsuspecting that, hey, this is what happened to our daughter and it can happen to you.
Yeah.
You're not immune to it.
How many people have registered for the walk?
I think we have 97.
That's awesome. And Brynn's
Today.
going to be 99. Yeah. Rachel and I haven't signed
Yes.
up yet, but we're going to be there for sure. So we will break 100.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea who some of these people are? Or most of them just strangers, some of them friends?
Some of them are grieving mothers that are coming to,
Because this is the only one in Mississippi. So hopefully we're getting some. I mean, this really could be.
So the word is getting out.
Yeah.
We've used social media, and the Rankin County newspaper did publish it in the newspaper, and they made actually September 20th Fentanyl Awareness Day for Rankin County.
Okay.
So she did an actual proclamation for us. And
Wow.
Yes. So I appreciate her doing that. So that went out in the paper, and let's see, what else do we have? Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
I contacted them to see if they would spread the word too, and so they were going to put my newsletter or my flyer in their newsletter and on their social media as well. So.
Do y'all have
people
hopes?
are just sharing it.
Yeah.
We've just had people share, and we're telling them to please share this.
Yeah.
The more people we reach out to, the better.
Yeah. Do y'all have hopes for after this walk to continue doing some of this stuff? Do you want to do some more work? Do you think about forming another organization to kind of carry Katie's message, or have y'all thought about that?
I think the answer to that's absolutely yes. I've already talked to a couple of people about this just feels too right not to grow it, but certainly we'll help United Against Fentanyl on an annual basis and try to do this on an annual basis. But I mean, I think we want to do even more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do another walk next year
Cool.
and the year after that, just as long as we, need to.
Yeah. I can guarantee you, talking to Jody Penton and the guys at Magnolia, you can't have found a better bunch of guys. I mean, this is their passion. This is what they do, and staying close to them and guys like that. And I mean, there's a lot of different groups out there that are trying to do good work, but Magnolia Wellness and Recovery is really, on the front lines doing real stuff, and they really have a passion for helping people like y'all and to helping people who suffer from addiction. So just staying close to them and talking to them an awful lot. And then, Recovery Lab's doing what we do. We're trying to get the message out that recovery is available and that drugs kill. Alcohol and drugs, it's very rarely a happy ending when you mix addiction with alcoholism and drug addiction. So,
I've learned also through this process that people don't really realize it's a disease that can be treated.
Yeah.
So there is prevention there, and a lot of people that aren't aware, like us, we didn't know that it was a disease.
But even it's like the situations are so isolated. This case and everyone in the same situation. Oh my gosh, our daughter needs help.
Mm-hmm.
Then how do you reach out and get that help? That's not an easy step. So I mean, it's I mean, it's not a prideful thing where I'm saying, well, we weren't embarrassed to call, hey, can you help our daughter? She's, we didn't know where to go
Right.
either, so, and that needs to be changed because it's
What advice do you have for someone in that position? Who do you call?
I don't know. You guys can probably help answer that question better than I can, but it's a good question that needs to be answered, that needs to be communicated. So maybe we add that to the message we try to communicate. So, I mean, what do you guys say to that?
Well, on that primary level, like the first thing is a proper assessment. And we see that over and over again. But you need to sit down with somebody who understands addiction and gets the full story from the person and really finds out, all right, could this person be better served going to an IOP kind of thing, or do they need some long-term in-person treatment? And I think a lot of times people just never get that baseline assessment. They think, okay, I've got an issue with something, I'm going to go to a few meetings. And that can be great post-treatment, but on that first initial kind of ask for help, there really needs to be a real assessment from somebody who's trained and qualified to give one. And I think that's probably a thing that doesn't happen. It doesn't matter if you're a professional or somebody that's in the jail. You've got to get a real assessment from somebody.
I mean, who is that trained person to do the assessment?
So whenever we're working with a therapist, like we mentioned the people at Center Space, Zach Thompson, they can link us up with somebody.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's somebody in an emergency room giving a psych evaluation, but it's normally going to be somebody who's trained in addiction and really understands not just, oh, you're using some drugs and some alcohol, send you over here, but somebody who really gets into how much are you using, how frequently you using, what's your history been like. Knowing that Katie had an issue very early on with some pain medication, that's super important to know. This isn't just something that happened a month ago. This has been like she had a affinity for it a long time ago, and to really understand that. And
we have talked with Zach a good bit, and Zach's been really helpful. You mentioned his name, but He gave me he planted the seed in my head that he's read that when a person takes an opioid that feeling never leaves their mind, never being, you never use the word never, but he used the word never. And I connected the two dots from that statement, from that surgery all the way back after recalling the statement that Katie had made. She went 7 or 8 years prior. This was a major surgery. Her femur was about to, come out of the skin in her leg. She needed the pain meds, and she didn't take any more than she needed. But she remembered, how great that was. So it's a scary, scary thought.
Yeah. I've had issues with pain pills in recovery. I've been sober almost 16 years now, but at year 2, I had a surgery and I had to take pain pills. And I had somebody administer them to me and give them to me, but it was a monster. I mean, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was just like, I was mad at the person who was giving them to me because they weren't giving them to me fast enough. I mean, it was absolutely brutal. And I've had friends since then some of them have been successful with being able to take medication when they've had somebody administer them, and some of them have not been. Some have caused some serious relapses, and some people haven't come back from them. So it's, true tragedy happens when we underestimate how dangerous something can be. It doesn't matter if somebody's trying to ride out a hurricane or ride out addiction. Like when we think we can ride this thing out and not ask for help, that's when the tragedy strikes. And it's super sad to see.
A very good articulation of our situation, because we had this high achieving daughter that we thought she could ride it out. We thought she had it. It was too big.
So now y'all are taking care of Remy, who's in the photo. You were telling us about.
I think Remy may be taking care of us.
Yeah.
They do that, don't they? Golly. We were talking before about, driving Katie's truck up and Remy sitting by the door, dealing with the loss. You're doing things on a daily basis that are trying to spread awareness and bring help to other people. But that loss is still there, and it's really never going to go away. What do you want to say to parents and to families that are experiencing that kind of thing?
It's oh wow, it's we're still trying to figure out our own way to get through this, and it's I would unite with people that have dealt with a common. I mean, I think it helps to talk to people that understand the depth of the pain. you know, I would rather talk. I would almost rather talk about the, gosh, get in front of it and get in front of it and try to change the outcome and just if you can avoid ever being put into this horrible club that we're in. I mean, just take action and, don't ignore symptoms, take action and do anything you can do to prevent from being here. I mean, because this is.
I want to add to that. We just recently found a Facebook page that was called Compassionate Friends, and they do meet, I believe, monthly. And we haven't been yet. We just became members, but that is an organization, or it's a group of people that have lost, I believe it's children. I think it's mainly for children. I could be wrong. It could be for anyone losing a family member. So, I mean, just search for some sort of community. And I'm just so thankful that I have, God, Christ is my Savior and He's my hope. And He's gotten me through a lot. And on those days when I don't have somebody to talk to, I can go to Him. And, He gives you the peace that surpasses all our understanding. And it's not something we can do on our own. It's through Him. So I just would just encourage anybody, get involved in church, find a group that you can connect with. Don't isolate yourself, because that's just it's not healthy, and it can just really make your depression spiral. So I think that mainly that's what I've tried to do, is just try and get involved. And I have a small group that I've just recently joined at our church, and it's been very helpful. It's a group of women that I can share things as a mom, because they're moms, and just having them pray for me when I'm going through some hard times, that helps a lot.
Yeah,
That's huge. Having a small group like that, I mean, it's a game changer.
It is.
So I'm glad that
Support.
you have that in your life. Has either of you struggled in your faith journey throughout this experience? Is it up and down, or what does that look like?
You said either of you, so that's a question to each of us. So the answer on my side is absolutely.
yeah,
This can't happen without the question why.
Yeah.
And I've come around. I think I've come full circle. This sound crazy, but I don't know. I've done a lot of walking over the last several years, and it's kind of thinking time. I see the sun come up. I see the sun come down, and God put the message in my head. You don't ask why that happens. So don't ask why that happened. It just resonated in me that it's while I'll never know why my daughter passed at such an early age with so much life left, I don't have control over that. I do have control over what I can do today, tomorrow.
that's right.
And that's I've got to lean in to my faith, and I've got to try to let Katie's light shine on other people, and we can do that by trying to communicate and save someone else from being in the position that we're in.
And it looks like y'all are doing exactly that. These things that you're talking about, these organizations and all these things you're doing aren't just coming and landing on your doorstep, and you open your door in the morning, you're like, oh, hey, like you're seeking out these things. In the middle of what I'm saying, you're seeking out these resources and these things to do. And like earlier when you were talking about the walk, you're like, I've never done anything like this before. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And all of a sudden you're the coordinator for the state of Mississippi for this walk. And here you are doing it. And there's just a lot to be said about the actions you guys are taking, even when you might feel paralyzed at times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing real quick. So my belief personally is that nothing in this world happens by accident. Nothing in God's world happens by accident. And I have this awful tendency to always look at the positive in things. And I'm just sitting here thinking of the tragedy and the pain and the discomfort that you guys have gone through. And my immediate thought is, okay, how is God using this? What is God going to do to use this? The answer is abundantly clear to me. God has used what happened to Katie to now help ensure that at least one person out there doesn't have to experience the exact same thing that you guys are dealing with right now. And that God has provided everything that you guys need in order to process this, work through this, and now be able to use this to help other people. So it's the biggest tragedy you guys will likely ever experience. But in my heart, I know that God is using this, has used this, is using this, and will use this to help millions and millions of people. So what Katie has gone through has not happened by accident. It has happened for a reason. And she now is going to live forever because her story, her strength, her willingness to be open with you guys, other people are going to see that and they're going to be helped. And God is going to use her to save lives. So,
Thank you. Thank you
Very
for
well
that.
said.
Yeah.
And I'll she stepped out in faith and did this. We're both outside of our comfort zone here. But her just stepping into this this is not outside our comfort zone. It's getting more comfortable as we each day that goes by, because this just feels so right to be communicating what we're communicating.
Well, I know you say you fell in love with the recovery community in this area, and I just want you to know that we love you too, and we will be there to hold you up anytime you need us to. And we'll walk beside you in anything that you're feeling or going through. We love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just how we started this out in the parking lot talking before about y'all's connection, this just proves
was
the point.
crazy.
You can't walk down the road in Mississippi without bumping into a neighbor.
No,
You know,
right.
I mean, we're all family. We all
It's
know each
crazy.
other. We're all like, we've
You
all
were
got
the only
some
neighbor
kind of-
my dad liked. Well, like not liked, but like talked to and spoke of, and
Yeah.
and it just. I think
Well-
that's one of the reasons I got emotional when I saw y'all too, because it just brought me back to that time.
Well, let me just your dad had to have been 80-ish years old when he was when he passed.
No, he was like 63, but he looked 80.
All right, all right. Well, okay, I didn't mean to put years on him, all right? But he was up on the top of a ladder, like triple extended up there, about 20 feet in the air, and it scared me, So it's like,
He's not very handy.
Yeah. He was like,
but
I think
anyway, I went over and
need to
helped
hear
him
that.
put some lights in his soffit on his 2-story house. So yeah, it was yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. See, this just proves that we're all, we all suffer sometimes from this delusion that we're all separate and we're all doing our own thing, but we really are
We're
all
separated
God's
by
people,
just a
and-
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's-
we're all
Yep.
in the same
I
boat.
agree with
man.
that. And you,
Yeah.
guys, you just talk. If we open up and we talk about some of these things that people keep as skeletons in the closet, it's just amazing how many people have dealt with similar issues.
I will say when I walked into her visitation that day and met you guys, and to think 3 years later, here you are, just like with this unimaginable strength, and doing the. No, I'm not kidding.
We're good actors, I think, but
No, you're not.
yeah.
It's not
real
a strength of like, hey, I've got this. It's a strength of like, I'm going through it, but I'm here. It's that kind of strength. And it's just, I remember looking in your eyes that day, and I can see the look in your eyes today. And it's just, it's incredible to see what God's doing and what you're letting him do. Because I'm sure it'd be easy to just lock yourselves away and cry for the rest of your lives.
For sure. To that point, through the whole funeral process, a lot of people came to the funeral. They passed through the visitation, and the 5 or 6 people I remember, the 10 people I remember, and in that days of a period for us was was the people that just you did, like you that came there just that wow, it's just to show support to people you didn't even know at the time. But it was and there was 5 or 6 people just like you that were there, and then that's what I remember from the funeral, is that people that just showed up. It's a kind of gives you a faith in humankind again, mankind.
Does. Yeah.
I'm going to be there Saturday. I'm going to walk my buns off.
Me too.
I'm going to walk. Only hard thing I'm going to have, I got to find a lime green shirt. I don't really know. I have a green shirt, but I'm hoping. But we're super excited. My wife's out of town, but she's already put it on her calendar to come back to join y'all for the walk. We're super pumped about it.
Awesome.
Really cool.
I guess it would be appropriate to give the time and location.
Absolutely, yeah. Plug it.
Would it be appropriate?
All right. Well, the walk is this Saturday. Is it the 20th?
The 20th.
The 20th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Flowood Natural Park Amphitheater. It's a 4077 Flowood Drive, Flowood, Mississippi. I think we're going to even have some live music as people arrive during the morning. It's just people have just hey, would you mind if I sing a few songs? Come on, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's coming together, and hopefully we'll have a good event.
That's cool.
We're going to have a program before the walk. The walk is not very long. It's just not even a mile. But the program will have some guest speakers there to talk about somebody from mental health, and then another person from law enforcement, and then Cordy Rodenball. She's going to speak about her story of her son that she lost, and then we'll talk about ours. So it's not going to be a real long program, about 40 minutes, and then we'll do the walk afterwards. So
We'll be there.
Yeah, thank y'all for taking the initiative to set the walk up, to bring it here, and then to come out and then to get the message out. I mean, it's a lot of work. So, and it's you tugging at your heartstrings to even come out here and do this. So thank y'all so much for doing it.
Thank you for having
absolutely.
us.
It's a work of love. You want to do it. You want to reach people, and because we felt that there was nobody in the beginning. There was nobody that we could talk to, nobody we could confide in, and so hopefully that'll be light to some other people that are searching for other families that are dealing with the same thing. It'll bring us all together.
Yeah.
We're Recovery Lab listeners and people out there on the web. Share this episode. Y'all join us this weekend at the Fentanyl Awareness Recovery Walk. We're super excited to be a part of it, and thank you for sharing with us today. It's been amazing.